Welcome to the Gadget Lab Show. I'm Michael Calore.
And I'm Nathan Olivares-Giles.
What is this? You taking a call? What's going on?
No, I'm not calling my mom. These white headphones are actually from Samsung, not Apple, even though they look exactly like Apple headphones.
They do look exactly like Apple headphones.
And they're connected to this, the Samsung Muse, which is a new $50 MP3 player from our good friends at Samsung.
Interesting, a $50 MP3 player without a touchscreen.
No touchscreen. That sounds a lot like the iPod Shuffle.
I think that's what it's called, yeah.
Another $50 little MP3 player that conveniently clips onto, you know, your pocket or your shirt or whatever.
It's cool. So it's for Android, right?
Yeah. Basically, this is the iPod Shuffle for Android lovers, is kind of the idea anyways. It should sync to your Galaxy S3, any Samsung smartphone that you have, and, well, just about most Android phones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's what they claim.
That's what they claim.
And you have a Samsung phone here.
It doesn't actually work that easy in real life. Yeah, so this is the Galaxy S3. Now, granted, it is running CM10, so it's not actually TouchWiz Android. But I have plugged it in to the S3 using this really kind of obnoxious dongle.
This is how you connect it?
Yeah, that's how you connect it. You connect that side into the headphone jack. The other side goes into the micro USB port on the phone, and then an app launches, and then you should be able to sync everything. But with CM10, anyways, it only syncs the first time that you plug it in. After that, it won't recognize the Muse anymore. It says as if the device isn't connected.
Now, you've also tested this on other Android phones, right? Other non-Samsung Android
the HTC
phones.
One X Plus, the Droid Razr HD, and the Nexus 4, and it won't work with any of those on the app.
Okay.
Which is a pain. And even when you do get it to sync, it won't recognize the music that you have in Google Play, which is where I store most of my music.
Okay.
But if you download from Amazon, it'll work fine there.
So you can only load music onto it that you've loaded onto your phone from your PC.
Yes.
Or
yes.
music that you're loading from your phone onto the device that you have previously loaded onto your PC.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. As complicated as that sounds. So the only way I've been able to get music on the Muse so far has been on the iMac.
Oh my goodness.
So I just plug it in here, get it on the iMac, put on the music.
How much storage does it have?
4 gigs, 4 gigabytes.
Okay, so why would I buy this instead of buying an iPod?
Because you really, really, really love this smooth little pebble look, this like purplish color. Samsung, you just hate Apple. You just hate Apple. I don't know. I mean, maybe that would be the reason. I mean, if you have the iPod Shuffle, it's not going to sync with your mobile device anyways.
Yeah.
And this one syncs with your mobile device like 10% of the time for me in testing so far.
Oh,
so,
that's a shame.
I mean, honestly, the only reason why you'd even be interested in something this small and unuser-friendly is because you really want to listen to music not on your phone. Because your primary music player nowadays is probably your phone.
And
right?
you're not going to go for like a 10-mile run.
No.
I mean, you could, but this is much more convenient for going for a 10-mile run.
Yes. So, you know what? If you're that dedicated and you really, really want it, sync it to your PC, forget the phone equation. I mean, I don't know. But no, this is not the Pebble I was looking for. This is not the Muse, the iPod Shuffle I was looking for. You know what would be great is like NFC.
Yeah.
You know, in the future, I know you got it in you, Samsung. But this isn't the one.
All right. Well,
it's not.
Too bad. Just yet another poor MP3 player that doesn't exactly work as advertised. I think the thing a lot of people forget is most of this happens on the software side.
Yes.
And if you can't get the software, your device is useless.
Yeah, and it's good hardware. It looks good. It works good. It sounds good. It just, we have some software.
I didn't mean to emphatically say useless when I pointed at that, but that's just
it's not useless.
The way it came out.
It's a great little MP3 player as long as you have a computer.
And a lot of patience.
If all you have is a phone.
Okay. Well, we have to move on. We're going to bring on Robbie, and he's going to show us some really cool technology-heavy goggles for skiing and snowboarding for the winter. All right, Robbie's here.
Hi.
What do you got there, Robbie?
I have the Oakley Airwave Goggles. Now these have the Recon Instruments heads-up display, which isn't really like, you know, heads-up like you see in like F14s or in cars. It's actually a tiny little display that sits inside here.
F14s.
Yeah.
So it's a little screen. Like, what does it show you? How fast you're going?
So it'll tell you how fast you're going, which is nice. Once you hit about 35, though, you'll stop looking down. But it'll give you like your max speed. It'll give you air time if you're doing a lot of jumps. It'll track your your GPS as you're going down the hill. So it's pretty cool for that.
Does it do altitude, like changes?
Yeah, it'll tell you like how high you are. It'll tell you your vertical drop while you're snowboarding or skiing. So if you're a big data head or whatever, these are really cool. It also it's Bluetooth enabled, so it works with your smartphone, Android, iOS, WebOS. Maybe who knows? So it works that you can control your music with, which is really cool. Now there is something that's supposed to be coming. It's not out yet. There's an update coming where you can see text messages.
Oh.
So if your friend text messages you, he can say, hey, I'm at the lodge. Come meet me. And you're like, oh, cool. But
can you get is it going to allow you to get notifications from other services too, like Twitter and things like that? Like if somebody tweets.
I think so. I mean, I haven't had a chance to test it out because it's not out yet, so you never really know with this stuff. But if you have another friend who can afford the $600 for these things, that's a lot of money. But if you have another friend who has this, you guys can track each other.
Oh, so like
on the mountain.
Find your buddy on the mountain.
Yeah, you can like kind of as you turn, you can see, okay, there's the lodge, here's a run, there's just like little lines on a compass, and then there's my buddy, Frank, and you just go
Does it put like a little box around their head, like in video games?
It's just a little arrow. Frank.
That'd be super cool, because then it'd be like locking, your cruise missile on it or whatever, your heat-seeking missile.
Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint is the price. It's $600, a lot of money for some headphones, or not some headphones, but some goggles for goggles. And they still suffer from the same problem the first Recon Instruments enabled goggles has, which is you lose some peripheral vision. Like you can't see like this much. And I do a lot of tree riding, which means I ride in trees, and I want to be able to see how close a tree is. So that's a bit of a bummer.
Well, we should mention that Recon has partnered with not only Oakley but like Smith, and Scott. Uvex,
they
bunch of different companies,
yeah.
And they all kind of have that same problem. I remember we looked at a bunch of different models with Recon's heads-up display technology in it, and they all have that sort of lack of peripheral vision.
Yeah, just because you have to build in the little monitor and all the system.
And they're all right around the same price too. They're all like well over $500.
Yeah. But these are Oakley goggles, so they're good. Oakley just makes amazing goggles. You don't have to worry about any of the distortion or anything on the lenses. But
we actually wore them on the mountain last week. We went snowboarding for 4 days up in Lake Tahoe and wore them, and Robbie was quite impressed by them. So much so that he still has them.
I still have them. I need to send them back.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll have more crazy ski and snowboard technology as the winter moves on. And we will see you next week on the Gadget Lab Show.
Bye.